So we bought my daughter the Minions movie. Yeah, she's not quite 2 at the time of this video. So of course, since we opened it, we got to see it not once but twice. I'm a fan of the first 2 films. I think they're both done very well. You know, there's always something else you see when you watch them. This time it's focusing entirely on the Minions. From the opening credit sequence, where they're showing them from single cell to multi-cell to actually leaving the water, which was done well. I will say the usage of music, this has got a pretty solid soundtrack when it comes to taking some of the best films of a very, very specific era. So of course, if you've watched the trailers are pretty much the first 20 minutes of the film. Even the commercials about, you know, here's the Minions movies coming out, here's what it's about, fills in a lot of the gaps. You pretty much have the Minions going from leaving the water, to the T-Rex, to the man, then after the man, then they're in Egypt, after Egypt, they're with Napoleon, after Napoleon, they get stuck in an ice cave, and they have all the other things going on in the ice cave, then a few of them decide, you know what, we need to find a new master. And they travel. When they inadvertently find a thing for VillainCon, go to VillainCon. Inadvertently become Scarlet Overkill's hench people. So they pretty much bumble their way through everything. But they do a pretty good job at it. Lots of people got on this one for the racial overtones. If you've watched the previous ones, there's always digs at racial stereotypes. From the way they're dressed when they're cleaning, to the main villain in the second one. And the fact they went to a Mexican restaurant and he danced. You know, they take definite racial and they kind of throw them in there. This time, since they spent a lot of time in Britain, yes. The cops, while in the middle of a high-speed chase, are having tea. Everyone seems to be having tea. The Queen has an overly done bite. They reference a couple of different mythological things. And, you know, it's still a funny movie. My daughter didn't watch it much the first time because she had other things to do. The second time, she sat down and watched it all the way through. And she laughed a decent amount at it. It doesn't have as many song and dance numbers as the previous ones, which she loves. She just loves to dance those songs. But all this is a pretty good one. I will say it gets really good towards the very end, and it almost makes you wish that the movie instead would have focused on Gru first meeting the Minions, which will probably be what Despicable Me 3 could be. You know, they might do a prequel. But in terms of Minion franchise, it's a good film. It works well. If you want certain things, if you really wanted to know, you're not going to find out. It's like, why do they get the denim pants? You find out. Why do they wear goggles? You don't find out. I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything. This film's been out for quite some time. Now, the 3 mini-movies. Competition you can find on YouTube, and that's just 2 Minions trying to one-up each other. And that one's actually kind of funny. Another one is Crow Minion. This one actually takes place when they're first working with the man. The man has a son. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. You watch the kid. So it's them watching the kid. Not bad. Works. The third one is about one of the Nelsons. The baby Nelson. Nelson, of course, then picks him up to take him to VillainCon. So it's about him getting his pacifier back. Not bad. It reminds me a lot of the art style. Looks like Jack Jack Attack from the way the baby is done. So if you're a fan of the first 2 films, this one is a decent part for the collection. Not the best one. But you know, when you get 2 solid films, being the worst out of 3 solid films is fine. And the mini movies are decent. You know, the nice thing is the art style gets better. I will especially out of the 3 of them, if you're a fan of the Minions, Competition is the best one. The other 2 focus a little bit less on the Minions, with the one about the Nelson baby focusing 0 on the Minions.